If you feel stuck right now in wholesaling real estate, if you go out here and feel like all your efforts you're doing, every effort, the cold calls, the texts, the trying for dollars, the door knocking, and you keep trying, you just feel like you're stuck, you're on this hamster wheel and you just can't keep moving forward, you're not alone. There are, I would say most wholesalers struggling at their first deal are in this stuck thing. There are a lot of people who have maybe done a couple of deals and they're stuck and they can't get past where they need to be at right now. And they just got to push forward and hit a new kind of just a new momentum or a new level in their wholesaling business. The truth is, if you're feeling stuck right now, I get it. I've been there. And what I want to do today is just have an honest heart to heart conversation with you on how to get out of this situation. I think a lot of wholesalers get in a rut. I think a lot of wholesalers go out here and they're always out here looking for the wrong thing. And they kind of get in this cycle of not having that change that they need to do. And so, a lot of these wholesalers are here, they're going to try the calling, they're going to try the texting, the drawing for dollars, reverse drawing for dollars, all these things, right? And you look online, everyone makes wholesaling seem so easy and so simple. And it's just this magic formula. It all happens, right? And I'm a victim of this sometimes. I do make wholesaling seem super easy and simple because it really is, in my opinion. But a lot of people make the results seem easy and simple. Now, the actual act of wholesaling real estate is a pretty simple one. It's not complicated, not crazy. It's pretty simple. But the actual result, it's difficult. It's hard. It's daunting. But it's not complicated what you have to be doing, right? There's no secret program you have to buy to go do this, right? I teach all my stuff for free. But making money online, it's not so easy and so simple that everyone makes it seem like. It's hard work, it's dedication, and it's the stuff most people, especially my generation, are lazy bums that aren't willing to do it. And so what I want to do is first and foremost kind of break down the common problems most wholesalers face and exactly what keeps them in this rut of being stuck. And stuck can be you're doing 2 deals a month and that's all you're stuck on, right? Maybe it's the rut of being stuck doing no deals at all. And what I have found teaching hundreds of thousands of wholesalers how to get into wholesaling real estate is there's very common issues most people have. There's usually 3 main ones I would say. And I've talked about this for a while, but there's usually 3 main ones why you are not getting to the point where you're got to be. And for most people, I can kind of audit your business and just say it like that, but I can't individually go to hundreds of thousands of people, and say, this is what's wrong, right? It's a common 3. And even if I do one-on-ones today, right, you're going to see people that need some help in their business. That's always here to help them make changes. The people hop on these one-on-ones, make life-changing stuff. But the issue is it does come into the common 3 problems. Heck, even in trying to get to $1 million a month, right? Like it's the same common issues because human beings are weird. We all think alike. That's how our brains work. And we have to start shifting the way we do things. And so let's kind of go to the most common ways and then the least common ways, exactly why you're stuck in this rut and how to get out of it. So the number one, I'll tell you, and this is just for, honestly, you might not be in the situation right now, but for a lot of people, this is the problem. This is a lack of marketing. And I think a lot of people don't look at marketing the right way. That they see all these wholesaling gurus say, closing's everything. Oh, you got to go out here and be the best cash buyer dispo person. And it's acquisitions and dispo, and that's everything, right? And just that's not what it is. Oh, I'm the best closer in the world. This is what you got to be focusing on. It's not. And I cannot stress this enough. The top companies, if you look at it's all marketing first driven. The most successful companies are always the best at the marketing side. It's never the acquisition side or the disposition side when you look at wholesaling, right? It's always the best marketers. Most 7-figure wholesalers are not elite acquisitions people. They're very elite at their marketing and they have average acquisitions people, and that's all you really need. The problem is when you have an elite acquisitions person and you decide that I'm an elite acquisitions guy, so it means I'm only going to be the acquisitions guy. Guess what happens when you're the only acquisitions person in your company? Then you only got one guy. Here's the cool part. In my company, when I have 4 or 5 acquisitions people, that's 5 people working 5, 6 appointments a day. That's 30 appointments a day when the average best closer out here can only close 4 or 5. And if my guys are 50% closing rate, they're closing 15. That'd be 15 versus the king going out here and doing 4 or 5. And so that means I'm making 3x more money than you. Crazy. But so it's not about the acquisitions, right? A lot of people think it's the disposition, but if you get no deals, what's the point of dispositions too? And it all stems from marketing. You cannot make money in this business without being good at marketing. And so if you go to freewholesaling.com or free wholesaling course, the main focus here is going to be marketing. Because if you just suck talking to sellers, like absolutely dog water at talking to sellers, and you can kind of pick up a couple things in a couple hours of like what to say. I just have scripts to line out, and you can figure out marketing. You're going to be clean. Like you're going to cleanly make money. I mean, when I was 17 years old, made $20,000 my first wholesaling deal, not really knowing how to talk to a seller because I just had such a good seller and the marketing was better than the average, right? And so the lack of marketing is going to be your main issue. I think a lot of wholesalers have. And a lot of this, I would say, comes from a lack of accountability, just understanding your numbers and understanding what you have to do. And so if you're going out here and you got your operations right now and you don't know how many calls you've made in a week, you're set up, you're doomed. And so when I talk to people on one-on-ones and I'm like, well, how many offers you made last week? And they're like, 0. And I'm like, that's your problem. They're like, oh, how many calls you make? Oh, I don't know. How many contacts? Oh, I have no idea. Okay, I have no idea why you're broke. Oh, shocker, because you don't even know your numbers. You have to know your numbers to see what's going on. It's like, honestly, it's like, if I'm a doctor or a nurse or whatever, and you say you don't feel good, and I check your blood pressure, or about, I don't know the blood pressure. Yeah, I don't know your temperature. I don't know your EKG, or they check your blood. I don't know what your blood results are going to be. It's like when you don't go off of the numbers, it's just like, what are you going to do? I guess got to amputate your arm. Right? And so the truth here is a lack of marketing is going to be a huge, massive issue a lot of wholesalers are going to have that we have to make a change with. Now, the second problem I see, and this is a lot of wholesalers, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to this, and this is kind of sad for a lot of people, but it's true. You guys have the right effort, but the wrong plan. And what I mean by that is a lot of you guys are doing the marketing you have to do. You're going out here and you're doing the calls, you're doing the scripts, but the plan's wrong, right? Some of y'all are cold calling pre-foreclosures. Some of y'all are just doing the wrong market. Some of y'all are just doing on-market wholesaling and FSBOs only. And you're just like, why am I not successful? When the truth is, yes, you are doing the right effort, but you're doing it with the wrong plan. And for a lot of people, it's like fishing, with the wrong bait. You might have the best hook, you might have the best rod, the reel's perfect, but if you've the bad bait, no fish is going to want to catch it, right? Or it's, the other way around, right? You might be the most conditioned, athletic type of person, but if you have no conditioning, it's over, right? And so a lot of you guys have the right effort, but the wrong plan. And the thing is, it's the peanut butter and the jelly. If you have peanut butter on one side of the bread and jelly on the other side of the bread, you mix it, woo, amazing, great things happen. But some of y'all will have peanut butter on one side and then you put mayonnaise on the other side, and it's like, what? And they're like, why doesn't it taste good? Because you didn't put the jelly, you put mayo in there. It's disgusting. And sorry if I cringed you out there, but that's the problem. Wholesaling real estate is always about having the combo together that works really well. And so if you can get really good at your lists and really good at your marketing channels together, your marketing is great. Marketing is always two things. It's a list and the channel. If you have a bad channel, good list, you ain't going to make any money. If you have a good channel, wrong list, you ain't going to make no money at all. Right list, wrong channel, no money. But the decent list and maybe an average marketing channel, you make a ton of money. And so that's the main issue I see here. And when I talk about the wrong plan, some of you guys don't plan at all. It's sad. And what I mean by that is some of y'all wake up this morning not knowing what you have to do for your marketing. You're behind on the 8 ball. You should already have the next month or two set out of what you have to do. I have to drive for dollars these many leads. I have to cold call these many leads hopefully today, or do this much cold calling. I have to talk to these many buyers. I got to do this. You have to systematically know what you've got to do. And the reason why you have to plan is if you don't plan, that is a plan to fail. You look at the greatest leaders of all time, the greatest military people of all time. They never ran into a battle or conquered a country. I feel like let's go to the right side of France today and let's invade that one. That's what I feel today. No. It's strategic. We're going to go after this. We're going to siege this port. We're going to do this. We're going to do a pincer formation here. And it's all planned out accordingly. You know why? Because they want to win. Because it's life or death in these situations. But you guys, when it comes to you actually getting rich, you actually making money, you actually making a financial change in your own life, y'all don't care. It's like, oh, whatever makes me feel good. And you say you're serious about getting rich, getting out of poverty, getting out of being broke. You have to make a plan. If you don't plan, you're failing in this business. And so you have the right effort, but you're not planning things out. You're doing the wrong things. You're not going through the course. That is the problem. Now, the best way to get over the wrong effort, right effort, wrong plan is, I don't know what to tell you, just go to freewholesaling.com. Y'all literally today will not go through freewholesaling.com. I kid you not. There are y'all out here today that will still to this day refuse to go through freewholesaling.com. You'll skim through it. And I a lot of people think I'm a broken record here. Every single time, at least once a week, I have a conversation with somebody once a week on a one-on-one, and they give me a question and they say, Zach, I'm not doing well. And I'm like, well, tell me what you're doing. And I'm cold calling. And I'm like, well, give me your script. Oh, this is Zach with the Zach Home Buying Company. And if we want to sell your property, talk to us in our financial team and we can give you a consultation and we'll have the underwriting team give you a look and we're professionals. And that is the trashiest script I've ever heard. No seller's going to go with you there. Like, well, I kind of came up to it with myself because I want to be a professional. You're being a fake realtor. You didn't go through the course. Well, no, I didn't go through the course. So I watched 2 videos in the course and I skipped the rest of it. And then I went and go, watch my Netflix for the day and my TikTok scrolling. And some of y'all will just skip the course. It's ridiculous to me. If you skip on the course, you skip on your success. That's the way I got to look at it and the way you have to go through it. I don't understand this. Some of y'all will never go through the course. Guys, the course is just the rule book to wholesaling. We had, I talked to someone on Sunday on my the Zachin channel, and this guy, he was really cool. He just did 6 deals. I talked to him, he did 0 deals. And after the end of the year, he wanted to talk to me. And he said, Zach, I know I don't post things. I did 6 deals from freewholesaling.com. Thank you so much. And he's doing great, right? He asked me some questions. And I love most people that make 6 figures in wholesaling. They never post a check. They never send me a testimonial. They just like, thanks. Like, they're quiet about it. I get it, right? It's just slow grind. But it was really funny watching him and talking to him because I've always had this realization, and I always ask every single person, but I'm like, dude, all this money you made in wholesaling, like, was this from the course or is it from you actually doing it? He's like, oh, it's from actually doing it. But he wouldn't know the rules of the game without doing it. And so what I mean by that is, by playing the game, you get better at the game. But if you don't know the rules of the game, you can never play it. And so freewholesaling.com is just, it doesn't guarantee your success. It just shows you the rules. So this is how you play basketball. It's like, oh, okay, so I can't double dribble. I can't, right? All right, now I know. Well, let's go play. And then you practice with knowing the rules. And then boom, you get better and better and better. You make money, right? That's how this business works. And so if you don't even know the rules of the game, how are you going to be good at basketball? You're going to be traveling, double dribbling, right? You're going to foul people. You not even know what a foul is, right? You don't know you don't know the 8-second rule, right? You don't know, you can't go back and forth on the court. Like you don't know any of this stuff. You don't know what out of bounds is. You don't know what a shot clock is. You don't know any, like, you're going to be so far on the 8 ball than the average wholesaler who actually knows the rules of the game. That's it. So you have to go to freewholesaling.com. It's an absolutely amazing course. Teaches you how to do it absolutely for free. And that course has actually had a lot of issues because it was getting so much viewership that servers shut down, and I had to buy private servers on my own website and move everything over and spend tens of thousands of dollars doing this because I had so many people on here because it works that well. And to this day, it's the largest wholesaling course in the country because it's the only free one. And it's a $7,000 course I get for free. Now, either your competition does it or you do it. So make that decision right now. And we're going to keep going to this, but I want you to make a conscious decision tonight or today or whatever, that either I decide to go through the course, learn the rules, get rich, become successful, or the 18-year-old kid who's living in his mom's basement right now, who lives a mile away from me, who's so sick of being broke that wants to actually retire his mom, let him do it and see what he does. Because he wants it more than me. Because I've clearly don't even went through the course. I'm a lazy bum. What, do you want to make that change? You can be a lazy bum and still, I can still call you a lazy bum. It's fine. But you can make a change. It's your identity. It's who you are. You can always change who you are by changing your actions, changing your mind. And so not going through freewholesaling.com is a travesty. But I don't really care because, the guys like KJ on Sunday, right? He decided he doesn't want to be a broke guy anymore. And he decided, you know what? I know most people don't want to go through the course. I'm just going to go through it. Ain't fun, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn the rules of the road. 6 deals after a year, I think over 6 figures. And then boom, guess what? He's doing even more now. And so you choose to exactly what type of wholesaler you want to be, a successful one or a broke one. I haven't known the rules. How are you going to do well at all? I don't understand it. And so you want to get successful, go out here and do the work. Now, the next thing we have to talk about is accountability. This kind of comes back to knowing your numbers and actually becoming successful and doing everything, but you have to become accountable to yourself. The wholesalers that stay broke, the wholesalers that don't get results, the wholesalers that never, ever make a change in their life, they're never accountable. if you look at most broke people in entrepreneurship or just in any business in general, they have a lack of accountability to themselves. They cannot control their time. Their time is dictated by other people, by their clients, and all these other things. And so you must become accountable. This is the main reason why people spend $8, $9, $10,000 on these coaching programs, because they want a little cheerleader on their side who's going to say, "You did this, okay, well, keep it up, buddy," and then you just keep going up from here. When the truth is, if you just become accountable to yourself, you don't have to pay 10 grand. You can use that 10 grand in marketing, actually get rich, actually become successful. But accountability is going to be the key here to your success. If you are not accountable, the only person you need to be accountable to is yourself. And if you're not accountable to yourself, you are going to stay broke. That's it. Self-accountability. It's learning self-control. Because if you don't know how to control yourself after you make your $10,000, you're never going to have the self-control to keep marketing at 100. And so I know every guru makes it seem like you need an accountability partner, and that's the thing you need to be successful at. That's not the truth. The real truth of why you need to become a successful wholesaler right now is because if you can stay accountable to yourself when you're scaling up your business, you can keep accountability and keep getting rich wholesaling houses. And that's the problem. I see a lot of wholesalers have this busy work mentality, and this is a broke mentality. And what I mean by the whole, I see this all the time, the busy work mentality. It's, there's people that are perpetually busy. I see it all the time, where even when they're don't have a job, they don't really do anything productive. They always find a way to read emails all day, watch TV, study something stupid, work out all day, every day. And like that they're just busy all day. If you ever met an unemployed person, they're very good at staying busy, right? It's always kind of funny. But a lot of wholesalers are like this, right? That they make their logos, they try to make their business plans. Like, I gotta get a picture for my profile, and I gotta do this, perfectly. And they're always busy. And at the end of the day, yeah, they worked 9, 10 hours, but they never actually did anything with that. And so it's always funny that these wholesalers, they're always stupid busy. It drives me nuts. Okay. That these wholesalers will just stay busy, and they say, "I've been working 9 hours a day nonstop, man." And I'm like, okay, well, let's actually get some accountability in your life. What do you mean I've been working? And I kind of talked about this last week, and this is something that I've been trying to, bring to people's brains. But a lot of people, and this just, my brain doesn't work like this, and so it's hard for me to understand some other people that have this. But after talking to enough wholesalers, I've started to realize this. A lot of people, they operate in feelings and never in facts, and they don't know how to make that change. It's kind of sad. But like a lot of wholesalers, they'll do what they feel is right. They'll do what makes them feel like they're being productive. They'll do what makes them feel like, I feel like I worked hard today. I feel like I talked to enough sellers today. And when you operate off of what feels good, the numbers don't care. And I've always said, it's always like it's always the story of most. I'll use the flea story for example, right? Because that's not as truth about how life works. They've done these studies with fleas, and fleas can jump like 15 feet in the air, or even crazier, and they're like this big, right? It's insane how far they can jump. But here's always the cool part. If you're a flea and you put a cup over the flea, and you did that for like a year straight, and the flea keeps trying to jump out the cup, but they can only jump 5 inches. When you take the cup off, the flea will never jump more than 5 inches because it thinks that's its limit and that's all it can do. And the flea has kids. That flea sees mama and papa not jumping more than 5 inches, and they think they can't do it, but they have the ability to go 15 feet in the air. They can only go 5 inches. The problem is it's all in your mind. Same thing with cold calling. I've literally had this problem before, where if you cold called 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and that was your average for the week, and that's all you did is cold call 5 hours a day for 5 days a week, 25 hours a week of cold calling. And I told you, hey, you have to cold call 3 hours today. You're going to be like, oh, this is a breeze. Okay, fine, easy. Boom, 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 right? But the problem is, if I switch it to you and you're only used to cold calling 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, and I tell you to cold call 5 hours, you're going to be like, oh, I've been working so hard. Oh, this is so difficult, because you're used to only 1 hour. Your pain tolerance of cold calling is so low. And the problem is, a lot of people my age, I like using my age as an example, because there's a lot of these people that are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and everything's kind of done with them for life, and they have to start working 8 hours on a regular job, which is tough work for most things, right? It's brutal. It's unbearable. It's the worst. And when they go into wholesaling and they expect it to be, it's not easier. Wholesaling's harder because if you put 9 hours on wholesaling, cold calling, driving for talking to sellers, getting your teeth kicked in, and still not getting an easy salary, woo! Ain't easy. Ain't fun. Ain't good stuff at all. The problem is, if I was used to cold calling 1 hour and I had to do 3 hours, I'd feel like I worked so hard that day. But really, I just did a light day for the average guy doing 5 hours. And so the truth is, busy work will keep you broke because you got to look at the numbers and see if those numbers actually produce results or not. For wholesaling.com, we teach you how to do it. Next part. This is a sad truth, but a lot of y'all are deathly afraid. And when I say deathly afraid, I mean it. Talking to sellers on the phone. Is the fear of the phones, is the fear of talking to sellers, is the fear of all these things. So many wholesalers are so scared to have conversations with sellers. It's so sad that you guys are so scared to talk to sellers. And I'm not telling you specifically, there's some people watching this that know what I'm talking about. If you have a fear of talking to sellers, that's not good. But the only way to get over that is just by talking to sellers. And the only way you can break the fear of talking to sellers over the phone is by doing it. And your fear of talking to sellers has to be less great than your fear of being broke. So if the fear of being broke is greater than the fear of talking to a seller, you'll cold call the seller. But the problem is this matrix of I'm more fearful of being broke, so I'll cold call and wholesale all day. It's easy. Guys, when you're broke and you are so sick of it, you're willing to do anything to get out of that, right? That's why people rob banks and all these crazy things. The problem is your fear of being broke, and being in debt and all this crazy stuff has to be here, and your fear of talking to sellers has to be here, where it's like, wow, I fear this more, I'm going to stop doing this, right? And it's the example again of, I love my analogies, of if your hair is caught on fire and you're next to a ice bath. Most people have a fear of jumping in the ice bath because it's cold, it's chilly, it's tough. But if I light your hair on fire, you're going to say, wow, my fear of burning to death is a lot more than this nice ice bath. So I'm going to jump in the ice bath and save my hair because everyone cares about their hair. And so the funny part is, did the fear of the ice bath go away? No, the fear of my hair burning was so great that I didn't care about the other thing anymore. That was me cold calling. You think I want to cold call? No, my fear of being broke and not being consistent and making money in wholesaling real estate was this fearful that the cold calling was nothing. That's it. It drives me crazy. But that is the truth that most wholesalers are scared to face right now. Face your fears and get rich. And again, we've said this a lot, but this is absolutely true. You have to be focused on money-making producing activities. Like I've said with the people with the busy work and all these things, you guys are not focused on money-producing activities. And Rick's been really keen on this, but it's absolutely true. Cold calling, marketing, talking to cash buyers, heck, talking to sellers, follow-up. Like these are money-producing activities. If you are not doing money-producing activities, if you're making logos and networking and doing all this stupid stuff, you are outside the realm of things that are actually good. And so focus on money producing activities and don't focus on things that aren't producing you money. Once you start shifting your gears on this, a lot of stuff starts changing and you start becoming accountable to yourself. Now, I've been saying, 5 to 10 hours a week is probably where you want to be at for money producing activities. Because if you're putting at least 10 hours a week into things that are making you money in wholesaling, you should be on a good trajectory of getting unstuck. But the problem is most wholesalers are stuck being stuck because they're not doing money producing activities. And this is the thing you're focusing on. You're focusing on the things that aren't making you money. Focus on things that produce money and start doing more of that. That's the truth. And so you ought to ask yourself the numbers here. And, we're big on numbers here, but this is true. How many contracts, how many contacts, and how many offers am I making, right? So we didn't put contracts on here, but offers, accepted contracts, whatever you want to call it. But how many contacts and how many offers we're making in a week. And you guys love it when I do my one-on-ones because I literally ask the same questions every single time. It's like, how many contacts have you made? How many offers have you made? And my favorite is when I get like I did 20. I'm like, okay, 20 calls. I'm like, oh boy. But you got to be accountable. Like if you're not making 100 contacts a week and you have the audacity to ask me why you're still broke, it's like you're just not working enough, right? What do they say? There's a big proverb. It's sleep is the cousin of death, right? That's Nas said that too, but it's somewhere in a proverb somewhere. King Solomon wrote that a long time ago. But sleep is the cousin of death, and sloth has always been an ancient sin for people, right? And the truth is, ever since old times, it's always been a thing. It's always been farming related. That like if early bird gets the worm, if you don't work hard, you're going to starve and die. The problem is that used to be the cool part. That used to be an actual real thing people said, because if you don't work hard, then you can't reap what you sow. And if you don't get the harvest, you are not going to eat. And if you don't eat, you're dead. Your family's dead. And that's all bad stuff, right? And kind of with the Industrial Revolution and the way life works, and how we have air conditioning now, and we have heaters now when it gets cold, and we're all getting soft and everything. Men don't really go to too much war now, which is good. I definitely agree with that. But like, a lot of people are getting softer. When, if you look at your great, 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 great grandparents, if there was a famine, you're dead. Like, if you can't grow your tomatoes and your livestock isn't producing a good bounty, you're dead. Crazy. Like, if the soil pH is off in your backyard, you're dead, which is kind of scary to think, right? And so if there's a hurricane that hits you, or something crazy, or a tornado, you could just be dead like that, right? But the cool part is, now we don't have to worry about that. And so people used to work a lot harder, and they had a lot more stress in life. And your stress in life is nothing compared to this, right? People in villages thousands of years ago were worried the Mongols were going to go out here and just destroy everyone, right? And so this is what your great, 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 great grandparents had to go through. It was fighting ancient times, fighting saber-toothed tigers and lions and spears and all these. And you come to me and say, "Oh, I'm struggling. Everything's so hard and difficult and bad." And literally 2,000 years ago, people are fighting tooth and nail for who's going to get the last piece of steak. And you're telling me life is hard? Get out of here with this. Like, it just, the Black Plague was 900 years ago. Like, guys, you don't understand how easy you have it. But the problem is, you're conditioned to such an easy life. When it comes to actually doing something that's slightly inconvenient, y'all literally just melt. And so that's why it's so easy for wholesalers to become rich and successful right now, because the bar has never been lower for my generation. It's never been lower. If you're 19 years old, you want to get rich wholesaling, the bar has never been lower. The bar was so low when I got started wholesaling. It's like, put bandit signs out every single week and consistently talk to sellers and cold call every day. Like, that was the bar, because still, even back then, no one was willing to work hard. And so if one guy worked hard, boom, it's insane. And so that's the truth. That's like, you ever look why Kobe Bryant's so good, right? The bar for working hard was 2 to 3 hours of basketball training a day. And Kobe Bryant said, "Okay, I'm gonna do 6 hours every day as a teenager." Like, with his God-given ability, it's like those two things together. Oh, not even close. Larry Bird did the same thing. And so I think a lot of you guys just forget what hard work really is. And, if you ever have a family of immigrants, and that's why a lot of family of immigrants or people inside the United States that get into wholesaling do so well, is because they're used to it, right? So I always give a shout out to our biggest virtual wholesaling community members in South Africa, Nigeria, North Africa too, right? And a lot of Europe. These people, they'll just crush it, because let's look at the average salary, the average salary in South Africa. The average salary in South Africa is says the median is about 27,000 ZAR per month, which should be around, let's do a ZAR conversion. Let's do a ZAR to USD. So South African Rand is going to be, if you're making about 27,000, it's about 1,500 a month. Okay. Average South African salary, times that by 12. Okay. 18 grand a year. And so here's the funny part. The average salary in South Africa is 18 grand a year. And I have wholesalers going out here making 100K a year in South Africa. Like, they're used to making 18 grand, half in the United States, basically. And when they have an opportunity to make 18 grand on one wholesaling deal and make 100 grand in a year, they know hard work. They know it. And y'all are just so used to in the United States just being little lazy bums. And U.S. best country in the world. I've said that many times. But the funny part is, sometimes it takes someone in a worse situation than you to say, oh, I don't have to go do this, or that crazy work thing. I'll go out here and do it. No problem at all. And that's always the funny part, it's just, a lot of you guys just need to get used to working hard again. I'm always trying to bring that back, but like, you have to, because the bar has never been lower to become successful in wholesaling. You just got to work hard. That's it. And so another issue here, and I'm trying to get the people that don't work hard. Now, if you're working hard, you're not becoming successful, right? We got to switch our plans out. We got to kind of look at some things. But a lot of you guys have this also issue of just being in the wrong market. I've seen this many times. I've seen people in the wrong plans, right? They're doing FSBOs, Zillows. If you're not going through the free course, it's sad, but you got to do that, right? A lot of you guys are in the wrong market too, and being in the wrong market is just clearly from not going through the course. Freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, it's all in there. Freewholesaling.com. Boom, boom, boom. It's right in there. teach you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. Now in there, you'll literally watch me do some presentations on the right market for wholesaling. And I have 2 rules for the right market of wholesaling. Make sure the population is below, I would say, no, sorry, the median home price is below $500,000 and the population is above 100K for the county. That's it. So population over 100K for the county, median home price below $500,000. Great wholesaling deal. It's a great wholesaling market. You're good to go. The problem is a lot of you guys are just in the wrong market and you refuse to change it. Sad for me, but you got to make that change. And so what I want everyone today to really do and really kind of understand this is a lot of wholesalers, you have to create a mental reset. And what I mean by a mental reset is whatever guru trained you, whatever guru you spent 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 grand on, just flush it down the system. You wasted money. You paid the government its taxes, whatever, right? 50% of that goes to the sales guy who closed you, being honest. So, you're paying charity here. And so you can pour that into more YouTube ads to try to extract more money from broke people and stuff like that. But create a mental reset. You got scammed by a broke person. What are you going to do? Like, you listen to me now. If you spent 15 grand just to find me on YouTube, that's probably a cheap price. And so, because I'm going to teach you for the rest of my life this, right? So create a mental reset. Once you can mentally reset your business, reset your mind of what you have to start doing and just start a clean slate, then go from there. You'll be great to go. We have to just create a new plan. That's it. So start deciding what you want to do. I would say for most people trying to create a plan, this plan should produce, I would say, anywhere between 3 to 5 qualified offers a week. That's it. Try to make 3 to 5 qualified offers a week. That's it. And so what's a qualified offer? It's a seller that is qualified. So they pass the MCTP. They actually want to sell their property. They have some motivation. Just make an offer, right? If you want to make a ton of money wholesaling, 3 to 5 qualified offers all. And how do you get to that, right? You got to find people that actually want to sell their property. You got to do that. So the best way to do that right now is by marketing. And it all circles back to marketing. So marketing is the art of finding motivated sellers, people that want to sell their property for cash. And so you get a list, you get a channel. I wish I could give you this advanced marketing crazy system and write it all this and but it ain't there. Just being honest. It ain't there, bruh. Okay. Plan. Make something that's going to give you 3 to 5 qualified offers a week. I would say cold calling, texting, and reverse writing for dollars is going to be the top 3 here. I would say digital bandit signs, right? But just the average bread and butter we've been doing, and don't get cute with it. No SEO, no PPC, none of that stupid stuff. Just stick to the things that have produced the most deals for the average wholesaler getting in this business. You'll be good to go. Your average guru that's saying you should do TV ads or something, they probably have 13 people that are successful with that. And I'm getting probably 12, 15 people a day, getting their first deal from wholesaling.com. So it's just telling you because you poured 13 testimonials out, doesn't mean that it's all they got. And so I would say most wholesalers, just the classic stuff's working because we're kind of going back to it, right? Everyone's used to spending 15 grand a month in these crazy marketing systems when it's not working anymore. Go to the stuff where the average wholesaler that's guru trained, you can whoop their butt. That's it. That's how you get this rich in this business. How you actually start making money and start doing well. That's how you do it. You want to get rich, start doing it. That is the plan. You have to start making plans or you plan to fail. On top of this, we got to put hours into money making, producing activities. And so I'm challenging everyone watching this. Stop with your TikTok. Stop with your doom scrolling, just scrolling on the social media. Stop all that. Listen to people that are going to make you money. Listen to things that are actually producing results. Listen to people that actually want you to get rich. Listen to things that are actually going to make you feel better about yourself and all these things. Watching memes all day ain't going to get you money. Watching memes all day ain't going to get you out of your mom's basement. Actually making money and producing income-producing activities in wholesaling is going to do that. And so stop with the stupid stuff of social media and going through all this and the Netflix. We can cut most of it out, 95% of it, right? Send a meme to your sister, go do it. But stop with the stupid social media stuff. I feel like most people get caught in this trap. You got to get out of it. Just work and grind. I could not stress the importance when I had my beginnings in wholesaling of me kind of cutting out social media. I never posted on social media when my first 2 years wholesaling, 17, 18, 19 years old. No, I didn't even have Instagram. I deleted it. I just get to work, boys. And that's what I did. No social media, no YouTube, none of this crazy stuff. And the reason why I shut down YouTube is there's no wholesaling YouTube content when I started out pretty much. So what's the point? But that was it. Maybe a movie once a week. I'm lucky. But I didn't cut it out completely, obviously, but I cut about 95% of it off. And so just work. And that's all I can tell you to do. Because if you can cut out the noise, cut out the things that don't make you money, and start producing some of that time into things that are actually going to make you money, I promise you, you'll make more money. Just work and grind. That is the point. Learn to say no too. I cannot stress this enough. You are going to be asked by friends, family members, all these things to go do this and this trip and all these crazy things. Learn to say no. Do the work. Be really good at saying no. And once you're able to say no, your yeses will be more powerful. And you don't have to go out clubbing every single week. You can go out clubbing once a month with your buddies. Go to the bar every other week or maybe once a week. But you don't have to hang out 3 or 4 times a day for 4 hours just shooting your stuff. Okay, you can use that for income-producing activities for you to make money and you to get rich. That's it. Like on a Wednesday, I can ask my buddies, "Hey, you want to go jet skiing?" And you know what they always tell me? "No, I can't. I got a job. I got to work." And it's always funny because like the same people, when I was 18, they're like, "Oh, you want to go do this?" I'm like, "No, I'm working." And they're like, "Zach, every time we ask you, you're working. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday." Nope, yep, doing my thing, doing my real estate thing. And not make fun of me, but like it was like 3 years of a grind like that. But guess what? I can go jet skiing whenever I want now. And they can't. Like, "Hey, you want to go here?" "Oh, that's expensive." "Oh, I can pay for it though because I grind." I spent 3 years of my life for the next 7 years of my life. And a lot of people spend 3 or 4 years of their life in college and they're honestly miserable still in there for the next 70, 50 years of working a job. It's sad. Learn to say no and do the work. It'll give you more results than you ever want. And the results, again, come from the work, not from the want. There's an unlimited amount of teenage men right now that want to get rich, right? There's basically, I don't know any teenage boy or guy growing up that doesn't want to get rich and doesn't want to be loaded. They all want it. But the truth is, are they going to work for it? Every wholesaler watching this, of course, wants to get rich. They want it, but are they actually going to do the work? So the results don't come from wanting it bad enough. It comes from actually doing the work. You could want it less, but work more and make more money. I've always used this example, but there's wholesalers that I destroyed when I was a teenager. Like I was making 240, 240 grand a year as a teenager still after high school. And I lived with my parents. I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and I had no bills and I just invested the money, right? And I wanted to become a millionaire really bad, but like I was outpacing all these guys. And there's guys that had 2 kids and a wife and a mortgage and mouths to feed. And they theoretically on paper should want to provide for their family more than I just want to get rich. But I was willing to work more hours than them because I didn't have kids. I don't have kids right now still, but like I don't have all these obligations. So I was able to work 15, 16 hours and I ended up making more money than them. It's not like that I wanted to make more money. It's not like I needed to, right? I don't have 2 kids to feed, right? But I just willing to put more time in. And so a lot of people think it's the want, it's the work will always yield it up. And so again, one thing I would always ask you to do is, this is always a question I think wholesalers need to ask. It's one of the top sayings ever, but just start thinking about this. And I'm going to start asking wholesalers this when they give me stupid questions. What would Zach do? And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that about me, but like, if you wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's so cozy in the bed. I'm going to sleep another hour." And you're broke. Like, what would I do? Think about that. Don't get creepy, but like, if I was able to look at you and you're just staying in bed like, "Oh, I'm so cozy." When I say get your broke butt up and start making something of your life, or say, "Oh, it's okay. You're cold. Oh, stay warm. I know you're broke. We can spend an extra hour sleeping. We don't need to get rich." No, nobody believed in you. So just prove them right. I swear, you guys got people that don't want you to succeed right now in life. Prove them right by staying broke and not doing what you have to do. You know how many people don't want me to succeed? You know how many people, me starting out, didn't want to actually see me become a millionaire? They all never believed in me. But they all said they believed in me after I got rich, right? And the funny part about life is it's never about what you say, it's about what you do. And you just gotta ask yourself that question. You're feeling like a sorry bum with your life. What would I do? Think, what would Zach do? Would Zach go out here and complain about it? Or would he actually just see a problem and make a solution? That's what you have to start asking yourself. And I tell you, once you start framing your mindset like this, you'll start doing better. Like, so you're like, the person said I can't get the water shut off list. Oh, I guess I should quit and complain on the internet. Oh, it's not good today. Oh, no. You think, wait, why do that? No. Okay, I get it. I see a problem. I make a solution for it. That is how you get rich. That's how you do it. So guys, if you got any value from this, make sure you go to my free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com, where I'll teach you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free.